How's everybody doing today? Today is Tuesday, March 2nd. It is also day 122 of my 3-year challenge. I want to thank everybody for checking out my broadcast. I need to move some things around so I can see this here. It is Tuesday. I suppose I'm 4 days into refeeding from the 10-day fast that I completed last Friday. I am not going to do a weigh-in today because tomorrow is weigh-in Wednesday. So I'm going to weigh in tomorrow. I encourage anybody else to also weigh in. I mean, today or tomorrow, or if you weighed in earlier this week, just give me your update on your weight on Wednesday or how things are going. Carrie's saying hi. Dark Crawlers, thanks for joining the broadcast today. Says, what a legend. Looking good. Thanks. But yeah, so I'm not going to weigh in today, but we will weigh in tomorrow. And so make sure you do that. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. I have an Instagram, which is at I always do that, but it's at Fasting, FAHSTING. There's also a Discord that I'm pretty sure I did not put the link to when I made this here, but I'll try to remember to do that afterwards. And those links are usually good for about a week. So yeah, it's a Tuesday. I had a busy weekend with all the travel. So, hey, what's going on, Anthony? So with the busy weekend with all the travel, didn't have, I was pretty tired last night when I got home. So really we had a small dinner, a soup. I think it was a lentil soup if I had to recall the name of it. But it was good. And then I was just still pretty wiped. Once we got the kids to bed, I just kind of crashed. All of yesterday I was pretty tired just because of everything from the weekend. So it was really nice to get a good night's sleep. I woke up feeling a lot better this morning. Definitely made today go a lot better at work. And I was much more productive, which also means that I spent less time doing anything anything for preparing for the stream. So Carrie saying that, yeah, she was super tired last night too. The busy weekend took toll on all of us. Yeah, the kids were wiped out. They weren't hard to put to bed at all. And that's generally a sign that that they're tired. So really with the the book I've been reading, the Wim Hof book, I'm getting close to the end of that. I still haven't finished that up. I'm about a half hour from the end, but I think I've, gotten through pretty much most of that book. I like what that is. I'm waiting for Carrie to finish up How Not to Die so I can start reading that. But that's going to be a book that is very long to read. So I'm not sure if I'll read that or I might just read a different book by that same author. And then anytime I have any questions about that author, I'll just ask Carrie and she'll know all the answers because she read the book. And so that's with that. I mean, yeah, I guess the biggest non-skill victory I would say I had today would be just being more productive at work, just getting more stuff done, kind of making more calls, getting more things that we've kind of been waiting for the spring to hit to do. Today, really, the weather kind of has been feeling a lot better, and the snow's finally all gone. There's still ice and stuff in some places, but overall, it is kind of getting into that, getting into spring, a great time to become more active, start doing things. Bolt's asking when I listen to the audio books. I listen to them on my way. I have about a half hour travel from my where we live to where I work. So I listen to the audiobooks when I travel, and like I kind of said, I think a week or two ago, I've spent so much time listening to the books and I mean, this will be the third audiobook I've listened to in 4 months, and like it just it's the most audiobooks I've listened to consecutive my whole life. I mean, it's probably doubles the number of audiobooks I've listened to solo. I think most audiobooks that I've ever listened to, I would have listened to with Carrie. And so recently I've been kind of enjoying, and not that I've always been a talk radio guy to listen to talk radio. So listening to audiobooks isn't that much different than normal, but I've been just kind of trying to relax to music and just enjoy that and just not, um, just focus on my driving and not listening to a book here the last couple weeks. Um, Crawlers is asking if I can share how I put off cravings when I first started. It's difficult to start and you break on your water fast. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, I've had, I mean, there's willpower and things like that. Um, and yeah. So what you're saying, especially being addicted to sugar, caffeine, carbs, and junk food. So that's exactly what your problem is starting off, is that if you're going to try to water fast, going in to a water fast addicted to sugar, caffeine, carbs, junk food, you're setting yourself up to fail the water fast. And I know, if you're going to try to go for a long time, if your goal is to do a super long extended water fast and you go in addicted to those things, it's really tough. And it's something that even with my big long water fast, I still had something. I had a monster or some sort of energy drink. Um, the 30-day fast, I know I did the first couple of days. I'm pretty sure I did the 42 fate, the one that I started the stream on. But um, so there's two different things you can do. You can say, hey, I'm going to do a water fast. And the goal for this water fast is to break my addiction of sugar, caffeine, carbs, junk food, or one of those things. And then just water fast for a few days to break your addiction to those things. And then introduce foods. And you don't have to water fast to do this. You can mono diet to do it. You can juice fast to do it. But you need to break the addiction to those things in order to get through the water fast. And it doesn't take long to break the physical addiction to those things. And that's the headaches are a sign of those addictions. And so many people that can get through the 5-day mark, or get through those headaches and things like that. So I guess what I would say is if you want to use fasting as a way to get things done, fast to break your addiction. And you can do it one at a time. Each week, I'm going to fast this week to get rid of my addiction to sugar. I'm going to quit drinking coffee this week, and don't add them back into your diet, because I mean the coffee. I know that there's different trains of thought with that. It's like tea, whatever. But caffeine, like the bangs and the energy drinks, that stuff's not. It's not helpful. So that's what I would recommend, is use fasting to break your addiction to those things, and then try to do an extended fast, or try to work on, increasing your ability to fast longer periods of time. Because breaking your fast and then just going back to those things isn't succeeding in, it's kind of putting a band-aid on a problem or slowing down a drip. So you're saying good points. That's why you think you keep failing. It's very much a mental thing. you use food to relieve stress, and when you're bored to change an emotional state, you'll try what I suggested. Yeah, I mean, and it's to me, everything's kind of, I mean, my whole life is me being just trying things to lose weight. And I guess large periods of it is me just not caring about trying things. But when I am, it's been different things, and I'm very happy with what we're doing now. Um, and I'm just excited to start eating more food, like, because I kind of have to rebuild up the stomach and the body muscles and everything. They kind of, and so I'm being careful not to push my body too much. So you're welcome, callers. Yeah. But yeah, that you know, it's tough. I mean, that's the the addiction to those things is so tough. I mean, I got a buddy of mine that talks to me about it, and sugar's his thing, and it's just so tough to not just give into it. I mean, and I get, and the tough part is that it is so easy. I think, it's that it's so accessible to just have whatever you want. And so it's tough to convince yourself to restrain, because we're naturally built to eat. We're naturally built to eat as much as we can in order to survive, because, you know, we're worried that we're going to starve to death. And I mean, you're not really, but like, your body is constantly worried that it's going to starve to death. So it, and all these companies know that. That's why they market it. That's how they know that your body thinks it's going to starve to death, and it wants the most flavorful things, because in nature, the most flavorful things provide the most nutrients. And uh, so yeah. Anyways, what was I talking about? I was talking about listening to the books and stuff, and just, being happy. I'm happy just listening to the music right now and just kind of enjoying myself, and being, and I'm way more comfortable driving, which is really nice. As far as, like, even this weekend when we were driving, uh, there was a couple times where I dropped something on the floorboard, or where I had to reach something behind me, and 150 pounds ago, that thing was just there until I stopped again. I wasn't reaching something between my feet unless I could kind of roll it to the side and get it into the exact spot where I could kind of reach. But, I'm not, I'm not putting my knees up on my, up next to my steering wheel yet, but it is nice to be more flexible. Uh, Carrie saying it is so easy. Keep emergency food in your car, or know when you can get a healthy food quickly when out and about. Like a plain baked potato from Wendy's, etc. Yeah, we did that on the way out of town. It wasn't a Wendy's, but there's a place that sells, their specialty is like subs and potatoes. And so we just went in, got a plain baked potato. They were huge. And then went on the road, and eating a baked potato like an apple is weird, but it's satisfying when you're hungry, and like I've said, if you're hungry enough to eat that candy bar, then you should probably, then you should be willing to eat a carrot first and then see how you're doing. So fast food is so easy, Carrie is saying. I understand. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I imagine. Yeah, fast food is so easy. I mean, we drove by how many fast food places. There's every exit we got off on, there was a strip of, the same fast food restaurants. And so it's you have to know your options. And then another thing that I've talked about, especially with my fasting for very long periods of time, is that I guess I might have talked about this yesterday, but if I go to a thing and there's a potluck and there's food everywhere, I just have to say to myself, no, I mean, find something. There's very likely there's, maybe options. If it is a potluck, you'll definitely want to bring something else that would be something you could eat. But I went 40 days, I went 30 days, I went 10 days without eating. I can go 4 hours before I get home or wherever I need to get. It may suck. It may not be what I planned. And, plans get changed all the time. But I'm confident that I'll make it to my next meal. Even as hungry as I am, I'll make it to my next meal. And so that may change when I'm down to 220 pounds. Maybe it's different when you're that, but not at the weight I am now and the experience I've had. Let's see. Yeah, it's fast food's very convenient. Those are, those are Jesus level fast. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, and as far as I guess in retrospect, I haven't really talked about the the first fast that I did for 42 versus this last fast for 10 days, but the um the difference, the first fast I was 520 pounds, so I was coming into the fast heavier. uh the There was a lot more cramping. I guess I've talked about that, and some more muscle aches and pains throughout the whole first fast than the second fast here. I did take some electrolytes the first fast, not consistently throughout the whole fast, but at the beginning especially, and then kind of sporadically towards the end. I believe I went the last at least week without taking electrolytes on my first fast that I did for 42 days there. This 10-day fast, I went into it differently, and I didn't take any electrolytes. I just drank distilled water. Uh, Definitely had a lot of fatigue as far as physical fatigue. By the end of the day, I was tired, um, and so, that was, like I said, that's zero electrolytes, that's zero minerals in my water. Um, that's just distilled water. I, the second fast, I could have gone longer. Whether I could have gone 40 days, that I don't know. I didn't feel like I needed to go that long. I think that I'm doing well losing weight. I just wanted to see how it would be different than going in without the addictions to the caffeine and the sugars like we've been talking about. Um, I Carrie's asking if I got any cramping on the second fast. I had zero. I had no muscle discomfort at all on the second fast. The only discomfort I've had, and it's been because I've been driving a different vehicle and my back's been hunched, or I was driving, is just between my shoulders. I've had a little bit of muscle pain, but I'm certain that that is from driving for an extended time over the, and I've driven um, 3 different vehicles in the last week for a decent amount of time as well. So, um, the first part of this fast, yeah, I didn't feel like I had, like I said, I didn't have any headaches. I didn't have the cramps. I didn't really have any muscle aches. And so I never, I never suffer from headaches, or I guess I never noticed or let them bother me. Maybe, I don't know, but I never would say I have had headaches. You could probably count on the times on one hand how many times I've said I had a headache. I need to take something in 12 years. So, the crawlers ask if I ever looked into consider dry fasting. I've looked into it. I know what it is. I maybe see. I'm not interested in doing it. I'm not going to do it, I guess. I can see the appeal to do it for a day or two. It may have. I mean, if it was shown or I saw that it had any type of medicinal benefits for something I was going through, that might be something to consider. But I don't. Yeah, I like the fasting. I probably Um, I probably uh I probably not do the distilled water. Like I would probably do distilled water fast for like a week, like on a regular basis. Not a regular basis, but like maybe annually or uh, every 9 months. Uh, if I were to do those regularly, an extended fast, I definitely like the 40-day fast. That would definitely be only an annual, because even 6 months, I think. Go, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how times goes, but it was a lot easier to fast 520 pounds. I have to say. And I had a lot more visceral fat at 520 pounds. So that fat I think is the easiest to access um, for your body. And so I think that the second fast, I probably have a lot less visceral fat than I did the first fast. And that may be part of it too, is that it had to burn more subcutaneous fat. One of those words. Um, so Bull is asking if I've taken cold showers since he's been listening to and then Carrie's saying I keep telling her that I'm gonna swim in our cold pool once it defrosts. I have not taken the cold showers consistently. I don't necessarily think about it, and it's not fun. And it's I like a lot about what I'm reading in the book and hearing in the book. And I think that in some ways, what he is doing is he's stressing his body in one way that humans are adaptable to stress their body in that way. And so, like, I think that somebody could come out and be doing heat therapy stuff and taking hot showers and exposing themselves to hotter than and also exercising those vascular muscles and those things. Um, and so I think that it's and I even kind of related can kind of relate it a little bit to the fasting is that I am stressing my fasting system in my body that nobody else stresses. Like Wim Hof stresses the cold receiving system. Nobody else does that because we don't have to. We can wake up at 72 degrees in our house. We can spend all day at 72 degrees. We can go to bed and it's 72 degrees. If I actually had to live outside right now, I would go to bed and it would drop down to 36 or 32, and then I would wake up, and then by midday it would be in the 50s, and there'd be a 20-degree temperature swing every single day in this climate. In the desert, I think it's even greater. But uh, we don't have to do those things. We live in AC and heat and the land of fast food and grocery stores, and so when somebody stresses those systems, it does seem miraculous. And I mean, and I don't want to take away from what I've done, but what I am saying is that like somebody could get into the Guinness Book of World Records for exposing themselves to that extreme cold for 2 hours. But if there was somebody who was actually taking records throughout time, uh, there may be hundreds or thousands of people that had to just endure that as part of their life. And the same with fasting. Like me fasting for 40 days would have been more rare to happen maybe historically because of it would be tough for an animal or for a human to get to 520 pounds. But I know that the doctors have said that an average weight male could survive fasted. I mean, they won't do it for more than 40 days supervised, but they had claimed in one thing I saw that they could make it 70. And so the um, there's probably tens of thousands of humans that had to go 70 days without food because they got trapped in a cave or they got, and they lived that. I mean, like or they just something happened, or the food ran out, or a fire burned up the entire region that they lived in. Um, and so, uh, it seems miraculous to modern day us, but we're adaptable. That's we can extreme cold, extreme hot, all this stuff. So, um, let's see. Bolt saying that you found ice baths are easier than the cold showers. In the bath, you go numb quick. In the shower, the cold feels horrible wherever the cold hits you. Yeah. And then you keep moving that spot. Um, and so, yeah, I've taken ice baths like for athletic things where I've put whole legs in or whole arm, my arm in, or sat in them. Uh, and I probably would enjoy that more than the 30 seconds I tried to chill myself in the shower the other day. Because once you're in them, you're just in them, and you bear through it. Like yeah, I get what you're saying. You move that cold water around because you get so it just keeps moving. Thanks, Anthony. And then Carrie saying, yeah, she didn't think about that. She did a polar dare plunge when she was doing the Special Olympics stuff, and that was enough swimming in ice for one lifetime. Yeah, and so yeah, and then crawlers, yeah. So that Angus Barbieri, yeah, that's who the 380 80-ish days. It was over a year that he fasted. It's definitely um the one that everybody kind of goes to as far as record setting fasts. I think that it would be something where somebody could take on that record, and especially if they followed the diet regimen that they did then as well, or even there's better supplementation now than they had 100 some years ago, but no doctor and no hospital is really um gonna get behind doing that. Nobody wants to watch somebody die. And so I mean, there's been people on here that have done, on YouTube, that have done the large fast, like the fasting fat man and those guys. And um and those are great. I mean, it's just so tough to be. I mean, it's so tough to be active in fasting, and that's really what I found is that, uh, and I don't know, how best to use fasting. Like I came into it and was just like, I'm gonna fast for weight loss. That's what I'm doing. I can abstain from things. I can quit cold turkey, no pun intended. But and so I came into it completely for weight loss, and a lot of what the True North Clinic, which is kind of one of the places, it's a first book I had read on Audible, or listened to on Audible, and they really talk about it for the healing benefits. They have people that they have them start fast, and then they monitor them for 4 or 5 days, and then when that person starts to experience pain somewhere, then they take that as a sign of the body repairing or working towards, your body. When your body doesn't have to worry about digesting food, then it takes its energy and says, okay, we can exert all of our energy towards. In what I felt like in my first fast, it was my ankles. It was the fluid buildup I had. It was the ulcers I was I had coming through my skin. Um, and I felt discomfort, and I embraced the discomfort in my legs because I knew the swelling was going down. I knew that the sores were drying, and I was improving, uh, and even, at the end when I did finally start eating, I went through a major crisis event. My feet, both of them, I mean, and maybe if I would have fasted longer, it would have been different. Or if I fasted shorter, it could have been different. But both my feet, Once I started introducing food, just extreme pain. I could hardly walk. I attributed it to all kinds of things, a foot massager, um, the way I sit at work. There's all kinds of things that can attribute to that foot pain. But the more I think about it, the more I think it was it was that stuff, all that inflammation left. All of the inflammation I had was gone after 42 days. And so once I started eating, some of it came back. Like it was, and so I think that's where all that pain came from, because it slowly and then kind of bucked back, and my body was like, we're not walking for a couple days. And so it was rough. But so anyways, the fasting for the 40 days, I uh I think is great for, like I said, your 500, your 450, your goal to lose some weight, but you also have to look at what your body does during that time. That was uh, something I tried to pay close attention to. And I think that you don't have to fast for 40 days. I think that you have to use the fast, like I talked to crawlers about at the beginning, is to break the habits, to find out if there's pains, if there's things that are, like I said, those pain, then them, then and they do things and they're doctor supervised. So, but they can tell if a patient comes to them and says, hey, I'm feeling a pain in my rib or my lower back, like the lower back pain in the first couple of days, I've heard him say that's a lot of times it's your kidneys detoxing. And so, or something along those lines. But, so anyways, I've been rambling a lot today. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I will be back on tomorrow. It will be weigh-in Wednesday. We have our Discord that you can join. If it's not in the link below, you can go to yesterday's video and find it if you're looking for it. We love having people in there checking in. You can, tell us how things are going with you. I'd love to see your successes. Any struggles or questions you have, you can ask me on there. Um, the Instagram is at Fasting. That's FAHSTING. And there is a life app that I'm not fasting right now or keeping a fasting regimen, so I haven't been keeping up to date, but I do know that there's some people on there that have been keeping up to date on it. So if you are fasting or doing an intermittent fasting schedule or even a longer fast, hop into that circle. You can see how other people are doing. Thanks everybody. You're welcome. Yep. Bye everybody. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow, weigh-in Wednesday. So have a great day.